Hey guys, in today's video, we're going to talk about as to why the Democratic Party will probably win back the United States Senate come around the 2018 Senate elections. And it may seem like it's an uphill climb for the Democratic Party being in a number of states that Donald Trump won in 2016 by even double digits where they have Democrats defending their seats. I'm going to talk about as to why I believe that they will not only retain but gain a couple seats. In turn, just gain 3 seats from the states of Nevada, Arizona, and Tennessee. And it's mainly because this is a candidate's race. This is not a presidential race. This was in my previous election night, my 2018 Senate election night, where I gave the Democrats the majority 52 to 48. I originally called Texas for the Democratic Party before when Trump's approval rating was extremely low. It has since gone up in Texas. It's still under 50%, so it's not necessarily the best. Ted Cruz's approval rating is not so high either, but it's a little bit of a long stretch to give Texas to the Democratic Party. Now, the first things first is that the Democratic Party should be extremely grateful that Donald Trump won the 2016 election. If they hadn't, it would have been a bloodbath for them throughout. I mean, states like North Dakota, Montana, Missouri, Indiana, Ohio, West Virginia, possibly even Virginia would have flipped. Don't forget Michigan, Wisconsin, and Pennsylvania. A lot of these states where they have Democratic incumbents that voted for Trump. If Hillary Clinton narrowly won the presidency, these states could be definitely at cost. And they could definitely lose them and even have the Republicans could even have somewhat of a supermajority in the United States Senate. So the Trump effect is a huge factor. I mean, Donald Trump's approval rating in a number of these states is his highest approval rating in any state is 60% in the state of West Virginia. They have a defending Democratic incumbent who's also somewhat popular. I mean, he's a conservative Democrat. I gave him the projection because I believe that, number one, they can't run any good candidates against him. A lot of them have denied to run. The only good one is Evan Jenkins, and he's not necessarily the best candidate for the GOP. Going up to a state that Donald Trump carried by 9%, Ohio, Josh Mandel just dropped out of the race due to his wife's issues again. Going over to Indiana, Luke Messer. I mean, Joe Donnelly already has the name recognition. I mean, the approval rating of the president is not high in Indiana, and the vice president comes from Indiana. That's not necessarily looking the best for them. Going over to Missouri, Josh Hawley and Austin Peterson are most likely going to split the Republican vote. Come time for election, I don't think either campaign will be energized to vote more than the Democratic Party at this point. I mean, after what we saw in Virginia, New Jersey, and Alabama, it's hard to deny a Democratic incoming wave, if not a tsunami. Going up to Minnesota, we have a state that Hillary Clinton won. Okay. Al Franken, he's not running. Tina Smith is a very popular Democrat in the state of Minnesota. Don't expect her to lose. She's running in the special election. Amy Klobuchar is also a very popular Democrat. Don't expect her to lose as well. Going up to Debbie Stabenow, state of Michigan, and Tammy Baldwin, state of Wisconsin, and Bob Casey, state of Pennsylvania. These are 3 states that Donald Trump narrowly carried. These are probably going to be safe blue seats by the end of 2018. They can't run any good candidates. The only person is notable is Kid Rock, and he wouldn't even come close to getting 40% of the vote in Michigan. Going up to Montana, John Tester, the only good candidates have denied to run, and the only 2 candidates are nobodies in the state of Montana, and that's saying a lot. Going down to New Mexico, Martin Heinrich, that's going to be an easy victory for him. Going up to Utah, Orrin Hatch is retiring. That could have been a Democratic pickup if he did indeed run again, because the main reason why he won the first time was because he was younger than his opponent. His opponent was too old. But Mitt Romney's most likely going to run and hold that for the GOP. Going down to Texas, I mean, Ted Cruz is facing a lot more opposition than he should in a normal off year for the Democratic Party, but I still think that he'll narrowly land onto it. Going over to Arizona, though, Kristen Sinema, people call her a Bernie-crat. Number one, she used to be a part of the Green Party. I guess she could be attacked for that, but she's a member of the Blue Dog Caucus at this moment. Essentially just conservative Democrats. It does not look good if you call her a Bernie-crat and then they find out she's a blue dog. So the GOP, especially with a 3-way race at this point, is not going to be unified behind one candidate, especially if someone like Joe Arpaio actually wins. He's never lost a GOP primary. I don't know if he'll lose this one. Going over to Nevada, one of the most unpopular senators, Dean Heller, don't expect him to win. I mean, he probably won't even run. Jackie Rosen is a very popular representative. Can easily drive out Latino voters enough to get a win there. Going over to Tennessee, Phil Bredesen, the former governor. I mean, if you look at Marsha Blackburn, she's up against him 9% in polling, but other 2 polls show him ahead of her. However, he is a former governor of the state of Tennessee. He won every single county in 2006. He left office with a 74% approval rating. He is known throughout the conservative, the Bill Clinton areas that vote for GOP candidates time and time again, but will vote for a Democrat like Phil Bredesen, someone who recovered their economy. it's not looking good for the GOP. I mean, the fact that the Democratic Party is getting people that would never run before, former political offices, people that were retired from politics, now re-entering the races. I mean, it's not looking good for them. Going over to the state of Florida, Bill Nelson, Rick Scott may run here. He probably won't. I mean, it's really hard to flip this state under a very unpopular Republican incumbent president. If he doesn't run, it's safe blue. If he does, it's lean blue. I still think Bill Nelson will pick it up regardless. Going up to the Northeast, not a single notable race other than Maine and Pennsylvania, and I already talked about Pennsylvania. Maine, I don't think anyone, Angus King will not really go against anyone. Maybe like Paul Page, I highly doubt he could unseat Angus King, considering he gets a lot of the independent vote and all of the Democratic vote. So, as a general thing, I mean, a number of these races, they are just race by race. It's not a nationwide thing. I mean, a lot of people are classifying this as a blue tsunami, but if the Democrats did not have these good candidates like Phil Bredesen, Kirsten Sinema, Jackie Rosen, and a number of the incumbents, if they did indeed retire come around time for 2018, they would not be able to win the Senate majority. But they have put forth so many good candidates. I mean, this is coming from someone who is a conservative, and I am a Republican myself, but their candidates are extremely strong. Right now, the Republican Party, one of the person who's polling second in Arizona is Joe Arpaio. Do not tell me that he could ever win an Arizona Senate race. Do not even consider it, because it's not going to happen, number one. Putting someone like Ted Cruz, I understand he's the incumbent, but he's not popular. A number of these Democratic senators aren't popular, but it doesn't matter when the president is more unpopular than they are. You could take a Democrat who has a 49% approval rating, but Donald Trump has, say, a 34% approval rating. The Democrat will get reelected. And then we look at, I guess you could classify it as a blue tsunami nationwide, but a lot of these are race by race, person by person races. I mean, if one person doesn't get the nomination, it could go either way. I mean, right now, the Democratic Party is putting full forth effort in drafting people, getting people to run for state legislator nationwide, getting good candidates to run in almost every race. I mean, they're leaving no stone unturned. I mean, after the thing that happened in Alabama with the Democrats picking up a seat there, it showed the Democratic Party that they could flip any seat. And states like Texas are coming increasingly close for the GOP, especially with minorities turning out more against Donald Trump rather than for Democrats. In 2016, it was a Hillary Clinton, I'm not Donald Trump, vote for me. That tactic didn't work, but now it's starting to work because people are scared. A lot of people are afraid of the presidency, as they were under the Obama administration, the Bush administration during 9/11. It's expected, but the numbers that we are seeing in the approval rating polls have never been seen before, especially after a 1 year, especially since we're reaching the 1 year. His approval rating is the lowest of any modern day president, and it's not something that's good. Going into 2018, a number of these races are already rated as safe blue or likely blue, and a number of safe Trump states. Don't expect them to flip for the GOP, much less the GOP to make a number of significant pickups. There are many predictions where the GOP picks up 9 seats. They pick up 6 seats because, oh gee, Trump must have won. He won by 19% in a state like, actually he won more than 19%. He won well over 30% in a state like West Virginia. Why doesn't the Republican just easily win that Senate race? It's because the people in West Virginia, Montana, North Dakota, Indiana, Missouri, Tennessee, Arizona, Nevada, Ohio, Pennsylvania, a number of them don't vote down ballot. They split their ticket. I mean, this happened in North Carolina where Donald Trump won the presidency with North Carolina in his column, but Roy Cooper was able to pick up the governor's race against an incumbent Republican on the same ballot. The same thing in Montana. The Democrat got more votes than Donald Trump did in the governor race. However, it was on the same ballot. I mean, these people split their votes. They vote for who they want to. It's all about policies to them. It's all about issues. It's not about who has specific party affiliation. With Donald Trump's very unpopular presidency at this moment in time, do not expect much from it. Do not expect him to make major gains. After the tax bill comes in, I guess I will update this map. It will narrow down probably to a Republican majority, 50 to 50, but only in a few states. I honestly think Nevada would be blue more than states like Indiana would. But anyways, this wraps up this video. I explained state by state rather than as a holistic view. That's why the United States is turning blue, because I feel like that does more to you than just saying the United States is blue, therefore all these states will turn blue. I talked about each individual race, so I thought that would be more beneficial to all of you. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll see you all tomorrow.